Hello and welcome to a brand new day of free-to-play here on Magic the Gathering. Oh, wait, this is a box opening video. Welcome to a brand new day of discount boxes here in real life. Outlaws of Thunder Junction previews have started today. It looks like it's going to be an amazing set. I look forward to discussing all of the cards when I get to my deck building toolbox series. So don't miss that on the channel. Be sure to check that out. And we are going to celebrate Outlaws of Thunder Junction and its amazing cards today with another set that came originally in an epilogue form, like the Big Score and some of the vault cards we saw. It's March of the Machine Aftermath. So I got this box for with tax and everything included, like $42 and change. Right, it was like $39.65 shipped. The box has actually gone up quite a bit on TCG Player. Right now it's about $56, $57. You can still get it on Amazon, I believe, for around $50. But it's possible that this product may have found the bottom of the market. They said it was going to be a pretty small print run because it was kind of an experiment. So I believe it's possible that the boxes are mostly going to kind of slowly trail up from here. Anyway, let's rip into it. So Outlaws of Thunder Junction, it's got some neat stuff so far. There's a creature mechanic mount, which is kind of like crewing a vehicle, except the thing that you're using as a mount was already a creature. It just gets added benefits when someone is the rider. And it requires a creature of a certain power, just like a vehicle does for crew. There are deserts that are returning. There's a 2-mana Jace Planeswalker. Looks like he's going to be pretty exciting, especially in like older formats. This is the box topper. They're always identical. It's got Niv Mizzet on one side, and it's got Sigarda on the other. All right. So, Outlaws of Thunder Junction also has an epilogue set that they decided to pack up and give up on after what happened with this set, Aftermath. All right, let's start sorting here. Black, multicolor, green, Leyline Immersion, red. The foils do curl a bit, I find, in this set. All right, token card. So, some things that I'm looking for in this box of Aftermath. I'm looking for copies of Nissa to be a mana ramp engine and something that fetches elves and elementals in my green-black deck. I'm looking for Open the Way as another ramp spell. I've got enough of all of the uncommons out of the set. Anyone who's opened a box of this will tell you you've got the uncommons. Metropolis Reformer, Tolarian Contempt, 2 different copies of Undercity Upheaval, Kraken Token. See, I'm looking for a couple of green cards. I wouldn't mind another Urborg Scavengers. Fill out my playset of them, give me more sideboard options. Maybe brew some other decks. Filter Out is a good, strong card. This does all kinds of neat stuff. You know, artifacts with enter the battlefield triggers, enchantments, battles in particular. I did a battle control deck a while back on the channel with Filter Out. That deck was really good. It was a lot of fun to play. Rebuild the City. I actually made a deck using that card too. It serves well enough. It does what it's supposed to do. Campus Renovation. I like the Strixhaven art style that they did. I find it pretty appealing. Alright, but Outlaws of Thunder Junction actually has a set baked into it that's was an epilogue set as well, and I've covered that in depth on the channel. If you haven't seen those videos, they're actually some of my more popular ones. Coppercoat Vanguard's a good hit. So is Calyx. Calyx is one of the more expensive cards in the set. It's very good in green-white enchantments. Goldforged Thopteryx. It's playable. It's not really worth anything. Niv Mizzet. This is kind of a weird one. So it's hexproof from monocolored, which is not bad protection, really. And it gives instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard that are exactly 2 colors jumpstart. I haven't tried to build around this one yet. It is a reasonably protected card with hexproof from monocolored. It wouldn't make a terrible finisher in a 5-color deck. But so far we've only seen about 4 cards, I think. I need to double check the spoiler list on Outlaws of Thunder Junction. So far I've seen like 3 artifacts and a giant cool green dinosaur. Sigarda is a fun hit. Not worth that much money anymore, I think, but still good effective card. Kiora. The foils like to curl in this set. But still, shiny mythic planeswalker. I mean, used to be planeswalker. Reckless handling. Added advertisement. Can't talk. I was wondering if all of the cards that came out of the vault in Thunder Junction were just going to be artifacts, but it appears that we're going to see, another Tranquil Throwback. I think this makes my 4th copy. I think that gives me a playset. I'm very happy to get this. Alright. 2 different foil Death Rattle Onis. It looks like there will be some colored spells that come out of the vault as well. And I'm guessing maybe some things that have been sealed away. Theoretically, because they're so dangerous or so powerful, maybe it was being used like a prison, like the Hell Vault was on Innistrad. I'm guessing it's not just treasure that's in there. I'm guessing there's also things in there that are problems. Not problems like Arnie Metalbrow. Problems like things that are the Eldrazi. Arnie Metalbrow. Has anyone out there come up with a use for this card? Please tell me. In the comments of this video, please tell me if you have an Arnie Metalbrow deck and he's amazing. Let me know. But as odd as it may seem, this set is intrinsically tied to Outlaws of Thunder Junction because of the big score. Pia Noir, I don't know if she's worth money, but she's actually a very playable card. She's quite an engine of Thopters. Handling, Cosmic Rebirth, Elemental. So, Wizards was, they were very confident. They were, you might say bullish on the idea, to use like a marketing term, stock market term. Oh, I put this in the wrong stack. They were very bullish on the idea of epilogue sets and small sets with small boosters. Rocco is actually a pretty cool card. I think it could be used in a two-player game to beneficial effect. I thought about pairing them with that PNLR we looked at. They would play well together. Just did it again. I keep thinking this Cosmic Rebirth is a green card. I keep setting it up there. And a knight. Since this set failed, Obnixilis, it's a mythic rare. It's got a combo with All Will Be One, the enchantment, as long as you can kickstart it with a single point of damage. They completely changed their approach for the epilogue set for Outlaws of Thunder Junction to just make those cards super rare. They trimmed it down to 40 cards from whatever it used to be originally. They made 30 of them mythic rares out of those 40. And for the other 10 cards, we haven't said what rarity they are yet. I figured they would probably be rares, but someone in the comments section said that they're going to make a rarity higher than mythic rare. And honestly, with the distribution of like 30 cards in a 40 card set, that would make more sense if 10 cards were a higher rarity than the mythics. But who knows? So I am curious what's left now. Oh, Training Grounds. This is a great hit. It's worth a little bit of money. It's a very playable card. It's got a combo deck or two kicking around standard. There's a Scavengers. It's a curled foil Scavengers, but still playable card. I will take it. Filter out and an Incubator. And I think they may have turned things on their head with the big score by making it super rare as hits in the play boosters. And that could end up making the cards, miss it, very valuable from the big score. You know, whereas if they'd put it out as an epilogue booster product, probably would have been, you know, easier to get a hold of, maybe a little cheaper to buy them individually. Now those cards are going to be like ultra rare out of the packs, and maybe they're going to be chase cards to some extent just because you don't open very many and they're kind of hard to get a hold of. Karn. I think Karn's worth a little bit of money. It's a fun hit. That was actually colorless. I'll start a colorless pile here. Pull it out. Mark off Baron. So I like what I see out of Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I am intrigued by what's going to be Vesuvian Drifter. In the big score, I think I'm going to want to collect it. Oh, here's another Urborg Scavengers. It's got alternate art. They're so cute and disturbing. Definitely have a playset now. That's good. So I may end up trying to collect the big scorecards. Just the whole, you know, saga of this story, Draenith Ruins. I think that's a good playable land as a one of in most decks. Shiny Vanguard. Oh, other Vanguard. Zomber. Yeah, it's failure and the things that don't work fascinate me sometimes more so than the things that do work. This is why I like to focus in on sets Spark Rupture. This is actually a great card. Let me finish my first thought, and then I'm going to talk about Spark Rupture. I like to focus in on some of the bad sets of Magic. You know, I talk about Homelands, I talk about Fallen Empires. I could probably go on a spiel at some point about like Saviors of Kamigawa. I was playing during that time. Dragon's Maze, or some of the older sets like Prophecy. There were a bunch of second and third sets, like the small sets of the blocks, and especially the third set of the blocks. Had this reputation for being kind of weak and being kind of weird. You know, trying something very off the wall. And those sets I find more fascinating to dig into the whys and hows and, you know, learn about them. Those failures I find more fascinating than, you know, the home run sets. I still like the sets that are really good. You know, I enjoy them. Okay, Spark Rupture. So, let me just get these cards out of my hand here. Spark Rupture is a white and 2 rare white enchantment. It says when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Each planeswalker with 1 or more loyalty on it loses all abilities and is a creature with power and toughness equal to the loyalty counters on it. And when people first saw this card, they were thinking of trying to use it proactively with their own planeswalkers to like turn them into vanilla creatures to beat down with. No, no, no. That is not what this card does at all. What this card does, my friends, is it turns the opponent's planeswalkers off. Turns them into vanilla creatures who die to your board sweeper. That is what Spark Rupture does. It replaces itself with a card, so some of the complaints you might level against extremely niche, narrow cards of the past don't apply exactly, because it already replaced itself. It cost you tempo, and in exchange for that tempo, Jarina, she's pretty cool, you got to turn off all of your opponent's planeswalkers. Now, this means that you have a little bit of a deck building cost that you don't run your own planeswalkers, because you don't want to accidentally do that to yourself. But it is amazing, amazing tech against people who run you know, piles of planeswalkers, especially in best of one. You can get away with it in best of one, because one of the things that white loses to pretty badly in best of one control mirrors is planeswalkers. So any removal spell that kills a planeswalker and anything that turns off a planeswalker is just worth doing. Joel Rail. And it replaces itself with a card, so you know, you're just digging deeper into your deck, you know, just hitting your land drops, finding your sweepers, just kind of doing your thing. You know, if they don't have planeswalkers, well, so be it. You don't have to prioritize playing it very soon in the game, but you can always cycle it for a card, basically. Which is pretty cool. Open the way, yes. I know it's weird to be excited about a card that's probably worth, like, I don't know, 15 cents or something, but it probably should have been an uncommon. This card feels like it should have been an uncommon and not a rare. But still, I am happy to get this piece of ramp. I just like that you can play it for 3 mana to get 1 land, or you can play it for 4 mana to get 2 lands. That's something that, you know, the Green Battle does not do. You can't play it for 3 mana. If you're stuck at 3 lands, you cannot ramp when you've got the Green Battle in your hand. You can with Open the Way. I like this card. So I am happy to get a copy of it, whether it's worth anything or not. Yeah, people sleep on Spark Rupture. I think maybe once I can remember someone on Arena playing it against me, but I can remember so many times playing it in Arena against someone running Planeswalkers, and there's this pause when they cast a Planeswalker, and it just smacks onto the table as a vanilla creature, and they can't activate its loyalty abilities. There's this pause where they're like, what? What happened? And then they go and they read Spark Rupture. And they are sad. Tazri, Stalwart Survivor. If this is not an activated ability commander, I don't know what is. I did build a standard deck using this card on the channel a while back. I made a mono-white beatdown deck using activated ability creatures, and it was actually pretty good. I guess it's just a testament to how effective mono-white aggro can be as a strategy, that I built a Tazri deck of all things, and it worked, and it had a winning record. It was doing quite well, actually. Foil Deification. I built a Warmonger deck on the channel, too, and it functioned. It was just red aggro deck with red aggro dragons, beatdown. It was totally functional. Also had a winning record. So, you know, it's just because a card doesn't get adopted by the metagame doesn't mean that it's unplayable garbage. Ah, another Scavengers. I said its name and it heard me, and they began to come in droves. Bloodout's actually a pretty good card. I know no one loves 3-mana removal right now in the format, but it is a way to exile something, and also a way to get rid of a Planeswalker. And it can even get rid of Kaya, the hexproof Kaya. Narset. Narset's pretty good. Maybe better as a commander, brawl type of card, but still, Narset's pretty playable. I think Narset's worth a little bit of money. You know, not a lot, but a little bit. Shiny Sigarda. Goldforged Thopteryx. Balance. Balance on there. Elemental. Alright, we are down to the last pack of this Aftermath box. It's being a slippery devil. So yeah, it's 24 5-card boosters. You can have multiple rares. I'll see what's left. And this might... Nahiri's Resolve. So, this card's actually pretty strong. It's just that using it exposes you to a big crackback on the battlefield. So if you can't survive the opponent's counterattack, it could be a problem. Otherwise, this flickers your whole team and gives them all +1 power and haste. You get all their ETB triggers all over again. I'm pretty sure there could be a deck somewhere there in Standard, if anyone cared to find it. Rocco. Again, I think Rocco's pretty good. Alright. Well, we did not hit Anissa, so not sure, probably didn't hit the value of the box, you know, in terms of money, but maybe I did. There were some mythics and stuff. Whether I did or I didn't, I'm pretty satisfied with the very low price that I paid for this box. So, I got some more playables, and I got to share this time with you all. And for those of you who have stayed now to the end, to me rambling, I have one little extra sort of a treat here at the end. Off topic, for no particular reason, I went by my local game store. I got 3 packs of Wilds of Eldraine draft boosters. So since you stayed to the end, you get to see me open them. Let's set them here in the box. Here we go. I don't really own much of any Wilds of Eldraine, so I wanted to get at least a little taste of it. And I also like to support my local game store when I can. I've just started getting back into like paper Magic, seeing people in person. So, basic land pile over there. Shiny Charmed Clothier. Oh, Intangible Virtue. That's not standard legal. Put that over here. Farside Ritual. Yeah, that's a usable card. If you don't have the other card draw spells that you would normally use in standard, then this would be fine. So, since I don't own all those other spells, if I want to make a blue deck, yeah, this is a good playable card. Totally use it. Korvold's not that strong. Johan. Doesn't look too powerful. Imodane's Recruiter is, though. I'll put this in the multicolored pile. Imodane's Recruiter is seeing all kinds of play right now. Fell Horseman. Stockpiling Celebrant. Yeah, I mean, since I just don't own really any of these cards, they're all a little fresh to my eyes, even though I've seen them many times on Arena. Oh, Into the Fey Court. Actually feel like this card's modestly playable. It's totally outclassed by the mythic rare that makes Thopters. That's like a Factor Fiction from the new set. That one's instant speed. And this token can only block creatures with flying. So, yeah, even though Into the Fey Court doesn't look like a bad card, really. That blue mythic that came out in Murders Karlov Manor is so much stronger. Then again, I guess that's what you would expect, usually, when you do an apples-to-apples comparison of a common to a mythic. Right. Human token. Swamp. Oh, Grave Pact. That's neat. Cool art. Scalding Viper. I feel like this could be playable. If you want to do kind of a red-blue spells deck. Redtooth Vanguard. You know what? If you're doing a budget build, I bet you could do a Redtooth Vanguard deck. There are just better options for recursive threats and such. But for a budget deck, I think it would probably do you fine. Okay, multicolor pile. Harried Spearguard, not a bad budget red aggro card. You can find better, but until you do. Torch the Tower. It's not bad. Can exile things. And Conceited Witch. Alright. Alright, last draft booster of Wilds of Eldraine here. For a little bit of added spice just at the end of the video. Alright, we got roll tokens, Forest, Dragon Mantle, Yenna, Redtooth Regent, 4/4 for 4, Elf Noble, 2-tap, choose an enchantment that does not have the same name as another permanent. You copy it. It's not legendary. If it's an aura, you untap her and scry 2. only as a sorcery. Well, that is a whole lot of text, but end result is you copy enchantments. That's actually pretty cool. This kind of card, it's like you don't know that you're going to get to your next turn to be able to untap her and all of that. So people don't love that so much in Standard. They like to get their value up front. They don't like their cards to have to survive to the next turn to get value. But Yenna would be a fun build around. Maybe in Commander or Brawl, if nothing else. Return from the Wilds. Can ramp you and get you a chump blocker. Not the worst. Rowan's Grim Search. Somewhat playable. Puts things into your graveyard. Yeah, actually, I think Rowan's Grim Search, you could probably find a deck that would want what it's doing. At least a budget deck. Alright. Well, I know that wasn't like the most exciting opening. We didn't get a lot of like stellar hits or anything, but thanks for joining me anyway. So hopefully sometime down the road here I will have some Outlaws of Thunder Junction to open. I don't know if I can find it for a low price. It looks like it's going to be a really powerful set. I expect people are going to be pretty excited to buy it. But you never know. Even if the price stays high, I'll maybe get it as a birthday present. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos on the channel. And until next time, never stop honing your critical thinking and empathy.